Welcome back, everyone. This is DA Sports. I'm your host, DASASIN. Thank you. This is episode number 32. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet. If you actually check the timestamp, it is Sunday morning, right before the Sunday games start. So I'm strictly going to give you my picks for today. So that is my pick three, my lock of the week, and my underdog pick of the week. So let's get into it. So to start with my picks for NFL Sunday, of course we're going to go with my pick three. Now, the first game in my pick three this week is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat the Carolina Panthers. Now, when I looked up the line, Tampa Bay was at the time favored by 8 points. This game is kind of tough. Carolina obviously is out of the playoff mix, but Tampa Bay is right in the thick of things. But Carolina has been playing better in the last, I'd say, 5 to 6 weeks than they were in the beginning of the season. And Carolina is definitely a live dog, so to speak, in terms of their chances of being able to make this game close and win this game. But I am going to take Tampa Bay in this game mainly because of the desperation factor. Tampa Bay needs to get this win in order to hold on to the division lead. That's how they're going to make their playoff run. It's between Tampa Bay and Atlanta for the NFC South crown. If they lose this game, it would be a huge hit for them, their playoff chances. And considering that Carolina isn't in the playoff hunt, that desperation factor should fuel Tampa Bay to hold on to the win. They are going to be at home, so that is an added benefit. I don't know necessarily if they'll cover the 8-point spread, which I think when I checked earlier this morning, the 8 points is actually even more now. But nonetheless, I'm sticking with Tampa Bay to get this win. I think that Baker Mayfield will have a productive game and they'll be able to pull it off. Now, the next game in my pick three, I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts to beat the New York Giants on the road. Now, this game is another one that could go either way, mainly because of injuries. The Colts announced that Anthony Richardson is actually not going to be starting, so they're going back to Joe Flacco to start. Joe Flacco hasn't played since the middle of the season when they benched Anthony Richardson for tapping himself out of a game. Now, the reason why I felt like this game could go either way is because despite the Giants being a terrible overall team, they do have a good defensive front, and with Anthony Richardson being out, not having that mobility, Joe Flacco is not very mobile. So if they do apply pressure to that Indianapolis front, Flacco is likely to get sacked. So that's why this game could go either way. But I'm sticking with Indianapolis mainly because I feel like the Giants don't have enough offensively to be productive right now. And I feel like Flacco, with his experience, will be able to dial enough up to score at least 17 points. And I don't know if the Giants are capable of scoring that much right now. So I think that the Colts will hold on to the win. The current spread right now is 7 points, so Indy is favored by 7. It's another game where I'm not sure if they'll cover the spread. I could see it going either way where they are up by like 3 and then they score a late touchdown to make it 10 and cover. Or they could be up by 10 and give up a late touchdown and end up only winning by 3. So either scenario is possible, but nonetheless, I am going to stick with Indianapolis to pull off the win. Now, the last game in my pick three is actually a game on Monday night, arguably the most important game left of this week's schedule. It is the Detroit Lions against the San Francisco 49ers. The Detroit Lions are favored to win by 3.5 points, and they are on the road. Now, this is a case of one team traveling further across the country and changing time zones, but the benefit is that the weather won't be too much of a factor in this game, so I don't think it's really going to impact Detroit that much. San Francisco has been very underwhelming on the season as a whole. They're no longer in the playoff hunt, so they're just playing for pride. Detroit, on the other hand, is playing for to hold on to that number one seed in the NFC. And especially considering all the injuries they have, I think this is a vital role for them to fight for because they need to get as much rest as they possibly can. I do think that Detroit is going to hold on and get the win. Current spread right now is 3.5 points. I think that this is going to be an explosive game. I think that San Francisco, despite not being in the playoff picture, is definitely going to come out hard. They have been in the mix essentially year after year, and this is like the first year in a long time that they haven't even been in the playoff hunt at all. So I think from a pride standard, they are definitely going to want to show up and put up a fight, especially with them being at home. But I do think that Detroit overall just has too much firepower. Even with their defense being decimated with injuries, I think that the offense will be able to put up enough production to hold on and get the win. And I would actually predict that they'll cover the 3.5 point spread. Now, the next set of picks for this week's picks is my lock of the week. Now, this week's lock of the week, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to beat the New York Jets. Now, the Buffalo Bills are favored to win by 9.5 points. And even though I'm picking this as my lock of the week, this one was tough, mainly because it is a division rivalry game. And as we've seen, not only throughout this season, but every season, anytime you have division rival opponents, anything can happen. Yes, the Jets have been eliminated from the playoff contention a long time ago. Yes, Buffalo has now solidified itself in as the number 2 seed in the playoffs since Kansas City won their game on Christmas Day. It means Buffalo can't improve their seeding at all. So it's definitely an opportunity for them to kind of take their foot off the gas. And with it being a division rivalry, I could definitely see it coming out to where it's a very close game. So they may not cover that 9.5 point spread. But I'm still picking Buffalo for my lock of the week, mainly because I feel like Buffalo is going to be hyper-focused on making Josh Allen look good with everything coming down to the wire with this MVP race and pundits saying that it's between him and Lamar Jackson, which I don't think Lamar Jackson should be number 2 in this race, but that's just me. I do think that Josh Allen is going to be focused on having a productive game because even the slightest bit of slippage will give more fodder to others who are saying that Lamar should be winning his 3rd MVP. So I think Josh Allen's going to have a great game. He's going to carry them to victory, and Buffalo will win this game as part of my lock of the week. Now, the last pick out of my picks for today is my underdog pick of the week. Now, anybody that's new, underdog pick of the week has to be a team that's favored to lose by more than 3 points, and I'm picking them to have the best chance to win. This is always going to be the hardest pick, and which is why my record in underdog pick of the week is so much worse than the other ones. This week's underdog pick of the week, I am going with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this one seems crazy. Dallas is favored to lose by 7.5 points. And Philadelphia is definitely a much better team than Dallas. But Dallas has been playing better lately. And with Philadelphia announcing that Jalen Hurts is not going to play this week, that's what gives me the small thread of chance to think that Dallas will be able to pull off the upset. Dallas's defense is very prideful. They've been playing a lot better in the last couple of weeks. And with Philadelphia having Jalen Hurts out, that means Kenny Pickett is going to start. And based on what I saw from Kenny Pickett last week, I don't have much faith in his production. I think he's definitely going to give up some sacks. I think he's definitely going to throw an interception. And those turnovers is something that Dallas really feeds off of. And I could see them getting a strip sack for a touchdown. I could see them getting a pick six. And that's what I think is going to give Dallas the best opportunity to win the game. Now, granted, on the other side, Dallas is starting Cooper Rush. So I don't have the utmost confidence in Cooper Rush. But I think out of all the games where teams are favored to lose by more than 3 points, Dallas has the best opportunity to win. So that's why I'm going with them for my underdog pick of the week. All right, so that's it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share wherever possible. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Peace.